Hey, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Hope everybody's doing well. Just jumping on a little bit early, so I'm going to give everybody time to join us here on our live broadcast. So give me a second. I'm going to be right back, but I wanted to go ahead and set up the computer and the camera and make sure you guys can see me okay and you can hear me okay. So once you guys come on and join me, go ahead and type me a message in the box below so that I know that you're here. And give me 2 minutes and I'll be right back, okay? Gotta grab some water. All right, let's get it started. So we got one more moment, one more minute rather, before we're going to get started with tonight's conversation. Hope everybody had a great day. Let me silence my phone so we won't have any interruptions. I won't be on with you guys long. It's the middle of the week, and I'm sure you guys have some family time planned, or maybe even headed over to Bible study, and so, or maybe leaving Bible study, not really sure, but obviously don't want to be on too long and keep you here with me too late. And so I want to go ahead and get started. I'm a little bit anxious because this is a topic that I'm extremely passionate about, and so wanted to share it with you. You know, all of you by now have all seen our webinar that we have been sharing with everyone and inviting you out. We're going to do May 30th, and it's called How to Go from Dreaming to Doing to Done. And it's all around, you know, taking your dream from just an idea or a thought and really bringing it to fruition. And so I hope you can join us. It's a free webinar. It's already out, posted all over Facebook. It's over on my business page as well. And so if you want to join us, please do that. And you can also sign up on Eventbrite already. And so go over and check it out under Women Speak Connections. It's on Eventbrite. And I'd love for you to join us. It's going to be a free webinar. We're going to have a lot of fun. You'll have free templates and workbooks and all of that. And I'm going to issue a challenge to you guys about, you know, really moving your dream to where it needs to be. So first, let me go ahead and get started. For those of you that have not met me and don't know me, my name is Mernice Oliver. My clients know me as Coach Mo. I am Queen Quiet Storm. I am the calm in your business chaos. And so welcome to our girlfriend chat Q&A tonight. And our topic is so very appropriate, I think, for right now in the season that we're in. We're kind of midway. We're almost halfway through the year. Can you guys believe that? It's almost June. And I promise you, I think I just said Happy New Year. I mean, I just remember, you know, drinking champagne and counting down to midnight to the new year. And here we are, half of the year is already gone. And I still see so many women that I talk to on a daily basis, you know, just still not moving forward in their dream. And so, you know, my heart's desire and my prayer is that every woman who path that I cross, I somehow encourage and inspire them to step out and really pursue that dream. And so tonight, I wanted to pose that question to you. So in the topic, I posted, you know, what's more important than money? Because I will tell you this, if money is your only motivation, who just joined us, please go ahead and say hi. Type your name in the box below. Let me know you're here. But if money is your only motivation for pursuing your purpose and your passion and your dream, then I will tell you that's not what's going to sustain you. And that's not what's going to give you that ultimate fulfillment that I know you desire. And so it's really all around understanding your why. So, you like riddles? I was a little girl, I used to love riddles. And so, riddle me this. What do super successful people, women, and small business owners all have in common? What do you think they have in common? If you have an idea, type me a comment in the box below. But I will tell you what it's not. It's not about the experience that they have. It's really not that they have these super extraordinary skills. And it's really not even their drive. It's not that they have such a powerful drive that really motivates and push them to be successful. It really isn't. Yes, I will say this. All those things that I talked about, the experience, the skill set, the drive, all of those things are very important to help you grow a business, obviously, right? But, it's not really a prerequisite is what I would say to being successful. It really isn't. No one is born with those experiences or those skill sets. And I will say this, plenty of successful people lack drive. They do. Steve Jobs is a great example of a uber successful person who really lacked drive. I mean, if you've read his story or even watched it on the movies or television, you'll know that, he dropped out of college and he was living, in his parents' garage, and he ultimately built, Apple, built his company from that. But it was all not because of his, drive that pushed him there. No, it's not that. The one thing that does make a difference, though, is knowing your why. Successful people and small business owners know their why. And so, that's the one thing that really makes the difference. And so it's, why did you become an entrepreneur? Why do you spend so many hours in front of your computer every week when you could be on Facebook? You could be watching television or spending time with your friends and family, or why do you stay up so late, or why do you get up so early, 5 a.m. in the morning, just so you can work, on your business? And, the why is what ultimately will drive us, you and me and everyone else, to success. But here's the thing. The why is different for everybody. Who just joined us, please let me know you're here. Type a comment in the box below so that I know that you're here and you are listening. And if you have some comments about your why, go ahead and share them with me. But the why is what, or your why is what ultimately will drive us to success. And it's going to look different for everybody. Your why is not my why. And my why is not going to be your why. It's a deeply personal choice that can have great meaning for you, So let me give you, some examples of the why, because it's so very, very important. And I don't want you to miss it. I don't want you to miss the point. So here's some examples. My first example is, a woman who is a survivor of domestic abuse. So she might be so driven to spend 60 hours, 70 hours every week mentoring other victims of abuse or counseling couples of how to break that vicious cycle of domestic violence, and her why is a strong desire to prevent other women or families from suffering in the way that she did. So that's her why. Or what about, a mother who has, of small children, and, she's really sad about having to send her kids to daycare just so she can work and barely pay for the daycare, not spending time with her family. She's exhausted. She's overwhelmed. She's just, in over her head. And, her big why is a drive for her to create a business so that she can spend as much time as she wants with her children, all while still being able to, support her family. So those are just a few whys. And so I'm going to give you, one more that I'm thinking about because it's around graduation. And so many college graduates are coming out of college. And I read something in Fortune magazine. I always read Fortune, and I meet Entrepreneur and all those different business magazines. And there was an article about now more than ever, college students don't necessarily feel the pressures that we felt. And I graduated in the 90s. Yes, I'm dating myself, and so I understand that. But I graduated in the 90s, and so we felt this tremendous pressure to find a job, go to work once we graduated. And so the article is really saying, a lot of young people fresh out of school are not really pressured to go into the traditional work environment or to the traditional work race. It's really just the opposite. They're really resisting taking the path that their parents took, working for a corporation for 40 years, only to retire and then find themselves with barely enough money to live on. And that's a reality, guys. I mean, whether or not we want to admit it, it really is a reality. More and more people are retiring right now today, and we're outliving our retirement or the money that we've put away or saved. If we've saved anything, a lot of us haven't saved anything, but if they've saved anything, they're going to outlive their retirement. And so, why do that? Why do that when you can take your dream and have the income and the time to travel the world, take care of your family, put away enough money for retirement if you desire to do that, all on your own terms? That might be that young college student's why. So my question tonight and why I wanted to chat with you guys was, what's your big why? It might be the freedom to travel, or maybe the option to spend time with your family, or the ability to take time off to care for a sick family member, or even it's maybe just to earn money, to support a cause or a charity or something that's really, really close to your heart. Whatever it is, your why is the driving force behind every action that you take. So when you're deciding whether or not to take a different path in your career or in your business, you have to ask yourself this one crucial question. And that is it aligned directly with my why? And so I'm asking you, are the goals that you set for yourself this year, are they aligned with your why? Ask yourself, are these goals, moving you closer or any further to your why, or is it moving you away from your why? That's a really simple litmus test. Is it moving me closer? Are these goals moving me closer to my why, or is it moving me further away from my why? And so those are the questions that I challenge you to ask yourself today or tonight before you go to bed. What am I doing right now and the goals that I've set for myself? And are they moving me towards my why? Are they moving me closer or further away? Your why, or knowing your why, is so important. And it's so very important. And I know you may be asking, well, Coach Mo, why is it so important that I know my why. And it's because the why is your driving force to keep you pressing forward when the journey gets tough. We all have a hero's journey. And so if you've not read or don't know anything about the hero's journey, I'm going to challenge you to Google that tonight. You know, Google is my friend. But someone told this story to me, and so I'm going to share it with you in an abbreviated version. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because I want you to go out and research it for yourself and then come back and report to us what you found. But every one of you out there, you know, in this group and in Facebook world, everyone has their own hero's journey. And so your hero's journey is really about you going out and searching for your own purpose and your own path in life. And so we're going to have some highs, and we're going to have some times where we're stagnant, and then we're going to get at the bottom of that circle, that journey where it's low and we're in a deep valley, we're in a cave, and you know, we're almost think about giving up. But guess what? Here's the good news. All heroes' journeys began to go on the incline again and rise up to the top. So it's a big circle. And you're just going from the top down to the middle, some highs and then some lows, and then you go from the lows and you're going right back up to your highs. And so I'm going to encourage you tonight to go out and research the hero's journey. It's out there. And it's so very, I think, deep that you really consider where you are in your journey and how your why is directly connected to your own hero's journey. You all are heroes in your own life. And so you have to determine and figure out where you are. But first, you need to figure out your own why. And so, you know, your why also drives your purpose and your passion to creating a successful business. It really does. And so, but your why, I will caution you to say this, your why cannot be driven out of fear or need or lack in your life. And so what I mean by that is your why can't be connected to, you know, money in the physical sense because you just need it, or because, you know, you're in trouble of losing something out of your life. You can't do that because it's all driven by fear and need. And you and I both know that which you put out, you attract. And so when you're putting out that desperation and that lack mentality, that's what you get back. Desperation, fear, and lack. And that's not where I desire anyone to be. I've lived that life. I've not always thought the way that I thought, and I've not always lived the way that I currently live. And it was because of my mindset. I had to do it. I had to shift my mindset. And all of you out there have to embrace and shift your own mindset. And so, you know, your why cannot be driven by fear or need or lack. You know, I know my why. So my question to you tonight, and why I wanted to talk to you guys, is I want to know, do you know your own why? So if you don't, here's an exercise that I have for you to help you determine your own why. So grab a piece of paper. You guys know I love postcards, not postcards, index cards. So I would grab an index card, index card this size. This is one of the smaller ones. It's a 4 by 2 index card, and turn it the long way. And I would just number it, 1, 2, 3, and write down these questions. What is my purpose in life? Now that may take you a little while to really get that answer. And so, but I challenge you to think as you're thinking about your purpose. Secondly, I want you to write down what your gifts, your talents, your skills, and your abilities are. That's right. What are your gifts? What are your talents? What are your skills? And what are your abilities? All right. And then from that, the third question, or the third answer, I just want you to write down whatever pops into your head. Don't overthink this, because your first thought is your most authentic thought. And so I want you to think, go ahead and write down whatever those first immediate thoughts are that come into your mind and pop into your head. I want you to go ahead and write that down on your card. And so you may come up with 20 things, 30 things. You may need 2 index cards. I don't know. But, and just keep reading, you know, those things to yourself and reviewing them. And as you are reviewing your list, I want you to pay close attention to your spirit. So this is going to require some mind shift for you. I will be honest with you with that. It's going to require a shift of the mind. And so as you're reviewing that list, I want you to allow your spirit to speak to you. And any of those things that you've written down in your list that invoke an emotional reaction to you, those are your whys. Okay? So I'll repeat that. Any of the thoughts that you write down, and as you're reviewing those thoughts, and it starts to spark an emotion for you, you know what I mean by emotion. Your heart starts to beat a little bit fast. Your pulse starts to race. Some of them may even invoke an emotion. You may start to cry about it. Your mouth may get dry. Your hands may shake. It starts to sweat. Those are your whys, guys. Don't overthink it. It's your why. So let me share. You might be asking, so Coach Mo, what is your why? Why are you doing this? Why do you do this? Why are you here every day spreading love and positivity on all of your social media? And why are you working with these insurance agents and helping them, you know, create calm out of the chaos of their life? And so here's my why. I'm glad you asked. I'd love to share it with you. And so my why initially was because I grew up very poor. I did. My mom was a single mom, single parent, and there were 3 of us. I have a brother and a sister. And there were tough times. I'm the oldest. And I watched, and I've always been very inquisitive, and I've always paid attention to everything. Now, I may not necessarily comment or say anything, but I notice everything because I'm very observant. And so as a child, my spiritual child was very sensitive. And even today, I still have a very sensitive spirit. And what I mean by that, I can tell when things are not quite right. Things are wrong. And, you know, I can feel the emotion in the home and the atmosphere. I can feel the tension or the sadness or the thickness. And there were a lot of times, a lot of things where I felt my mom's emotion. She may not have necessarily shared it with me, and I don't think she ever shared it with me, but I knew we were struggling. I knew we were having a hard time. You know, obviously when we come home and it's winter and the heat's turned off, you know, we're having a hard time, you know, or there's not a lot of food in the house, you know, we're having a hard time. We're struggling. My mom was working 3 jobs, and so she had a high school education, and so she did the best that she could to take care of us. And so don't get me wrong, I'm very proud of her that she pressed through, but it was tough. And so as a small child, you know, I knew I wanted better for my life and for my family. You know, I knew that I had to be successful. And another thing, I was born, you know, I was an 80s baby. So I grew up in my adolescence during the 80s. And so I watched Dynasty and Knots Landing and Dallas, and I watched all these rich people, and I thought, you know, there's the key. Now, I will say this, my why was not directly tied to the money so much, but more so what the money could do for us. That we would never ever have our heat turned off. There would be food in the house. The lights would be on. You know, my mom wouldn't have to work 15, 20 jobs. And so I had to be successful because I wanted to change my life. But also I wanted to, you know, change the life of my family, of my mom. I didn't want to see her struggle and go through the things that she went through, and it still evokes an emotion for me, right? You see that. So it's evoking an emotion. And so and I also wanted to be an inspiration to other little girls that looked like me. And to let them know that they could be successful, and they could live happy and healthy lives. And so now I will tell you, I chose a very tough field. I chose the insurance and financial services industry, and there were some tough times in my career, but I knew that if I was successful, that I could impact my family's lives and the lives of those in my community. And so I've always had this passion, and I've always had this purpose in my life for better and for more, but not just for me. It wasn't just, for me. It was because I had to prove that life didn't have to be tough and difficult, the way it was for us. And so now my why has changed. I will tell you that it's evolved as I've gotten more successful, and as I've, changed mindsets. I've realized, I began to realize that women were a little bit less successful in the industry that I chose, in this insurance and financial services industry. We were a little bit less successful. Now, I don't mean all women are less successful, but so don't go quoting me and saying Coach Mo says women in insurance are less successful. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that a large percentage of us, particularly when we're new agency owners, when we start our own businesses and we step out and we branch out and do these things, we tend to be less successful in the industry. And it's all because we're stressed out and we're overwhelmed, and we're experiencing, that's right, chaos in our lives and also in our businesses. And it's all because we hadn't embraced being mentored. We don't have anyone speaking in our lives and encouraging us and holding us accountable for things, and so things tend to get out of hand. And so that is why I decided, because I lived it, I went through it, I walked in those shoes. And so my why transitioned from not just my family and my community, but it was also for these women who I grew a heart for. These were women who were my colleagues, and I saw them struggling just the way that I was, and they were in pain the way that I had been, and I knew that I could help them. And so that was why I started, Myrnice Oliver Coaching, and I developed Women Speak Connections to help new women entrepreneurs or women leaders who are in a career and they desire to transition eventually to being an entrepreneur, or maybe even running a business while they're keeping their job. And so I know that is my passion and my purpose, right? And so that's my why. And so my prayer for you guys, or you ladies tonight, is that you all find, your why, and use it to be successful, but be successful according to your own terms. You don't have to embrace what the world says is success. Success for you is going to look different for me. And it should. It should, because your success is tied into your why. And so let me encourage you. More importantly than money, you must, listen to me, my sister, my friend, you must determine your why first. And so post your whys in the comment box below and share with us your why, and allow us to love on you and to encourage you in your why. All right, ladies, that's all I have for you tonight. I hope this sparked a change for someone, or encouraged someone to really take some time tonight, do my little exercise to determine their why. Or if you know your why and you just need some support, leave us a message there and let us know how can we support you and hold you accountable to finding your why, but not only finding your why, using it to be successful according to your own terms. Okay? So it's again, I'm Bernice Oliver. I am president and CEO at Bernice Oliver Coaching. I am also the founder of Women Speak Connections, and we're all about helping you learn, and so we can teach someone else, and so we can all grow together. I love you all with the love of Jesus Christ, and so I pray that this helped someone or was a blessing to someone tonight. Share this video with someone if you desire, or tag them in the video so that they can see it as well. All right, have a great night. Thank you guys for joining me. Bye.